Hey guys, I want to welcome back all my subscribers, my watchers, my viewers, and any possible new subscribers that may be out there. I've been asked what my theory is on this case. I've kind of got a two-part theory on this case. Don and Candace Wells seems to be all about the money. And they seem to be very angry people about money. Let me set this right here for this baby. If anybody raises money, they feel like they're owed that money. For some reason, they feel like they are owed money in Summer's disappearance. So, here's part of my theory. I have proven that there was no ER visit or doctor's visit from Grandis. That Candace was simply filling a prescription that morning, and it was either a benzodiazepine, which is Valium or Xanax, or it was an opiate, hydrocodone, something like that. I'm leaning a little towards the benzos, the Valium or the Xanax. And this is going to relax Summer. I believe Summer had been given this many times before. But they're going back. I'm going to jump back just a minute. Grandis has seemed to have changed her story as well, as she was never seen at the doctor or the ER. Now, the last time she seen Summer, Candace was driving away with her in the truck. Well, I think, for one, after that prescription was filled that day, the drug dealing and the trading began. It was like a feeding frenzy. Candace's opportunity to get high and stay high that day, one way or the other. If she didn't have what she wanted to get high on, she was going to trade for it to get high on. Law enforcement had pictures of searching that night, and there was pictures of Grandis bending over and picking up totes, those big totes that was in her truck, and she didn't have a knee brace on. So we know that there was no immediate injury to her leg, and we know that the knee brace theory is out the window. I want to go back to Mary's theory of Summer was being worked out of that shed, and Summer was being sold out of that shed. And this has been done many, many, many times before. Many times. I believe that they got her high that day to prepare her for going to that shed. But here's the kicker. I think once Candace took her to the shed, that she sent the boys down there with their handy-dandy pocket knives and their handy-dandy walkie-talkies to watch Summer at the shed. They were the ones responsible for what happened to Summer that day. They were sent to, per se, patrol the shed, patrol the area, kind of watch out for what's going on, and report back to Candace or Dawn on the walkie-talkie what was going on, like they always have, right? Are you with me? Because Candace and Dawn has said 1,000,000 times, as long as those boys have their walkie-talkies and their pocket knives, they can go anywhere down that creek and onto that lower property if they want. So I think when Jody Sue seen the red truck pull up, that was whoever was dropping off Candace's drugs that day, and possibly who was then, after she was paid for with the drugs, that went down to the shed. Well, the boys got to horse playing around, and they got to playing hide and seek, and they were not paying attention to what was going on at the shed. And somebody took off with Summer. Now, at that point, I believe the boys contacted her on the walkie-talkie and said, Summer is gone. And she started screaming. And I think that these are the screams that Jody Sue heard. I think that she went through the house screaming, and that's why it sounded like it got more muffled, is because it went from, inside to out and then outside to in. Because maybe she thought Summer did come back to the house. So she was checking everywhere. Now, when she jumped in Grandis's truck, her statement was there was nobody outside, nowhere around, that she had to go to the neighbor's house and ask for help. Well, that kind of goes against what Jody Sue said, but we'll come back to that later. She said that she went to the neighbor's house and asked for help to look for Summer. But anyway, the first place Candace went was down to that shed, down that holler, just as far back as she could go, to see if maybe they had took her further back on that property, and then she searched every little road around there. That is why then Jody Sue could hear her screaming at those boys. What did you do? What did you do? And one of the boys hysterically screaming and responding, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. And we hear of him telling his dad it's not his fault several times throughout this ordeal. Excuse me, it just keeps kind of falling there. I've told y'all I'm not a creator. I only have a couple of pieces of equipment. And then from there, I believe whoever took her, that is when the trafficking part come in. I think that is when she was sold. I think Don probably knows better than to tell on the person that took her. Therefore, he would be telling on themselves for putting her in that situation to have been taken to be trafficked. Plus, if he turns in this drug dealer or the people that they have trafficked Summer to, he's going to end up dead. So therefore, all he can say really is, it's one of these dope dealers around here. It's one of these dope dealers around here. Summer was put in a car and she was took far away from here. Because when he called that guy and said, where's my daughter? Oh, he was like, man, that kid's gone, far away from here. Now, right now, that is my number one 2-part theory. I do have another theory, but right now, this is where I'm at with everything. If you like it and you agree with me, if you think I'm on the right track, let me know in the comments. If you don't, let me know why. Drop it down in the comments. But like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Love you guys. Check you next time. And keep an eye out for this little girl, no matter where you are. Her name is Summer Moon Utah Wells. Her hair could be dyed. It could be long. It could be short. She could be disguised as a boy. We just don't know. Thanks. Check you next time.